This show is brought to you by you. Yes, you, the listener. Thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you for all the patrons that support our Battlefield adventure. Wait for the middle of the show to know more about our Patreon, or just go to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Enjoy the show.
Let's get real here, guys. What's gonna be work in our favor for stupidity?
I remember I was talking to DICE developers, and I was pushing this idea for the support class to have unlimited ammo. I have a question though. You mentioned that. Do you think weapons should be restricted to a specific class?
Yes and no.
I have a hot take. We might bitch about Battlefield 2042 for many things, but having all weapons available to each class is not a bad thing, because that's not what makes the class a class.
Giving somebody unlimited ammo with a long-distance bolt-action sniper rifle, that can technically already be done with a support class on the side, on top of a recon, so you're not really stopping something that can't be done.
Good morning, good day, good evening, my fellow Battlefield players. Welcome to BattlefieldOne Podcast, a podcast that will not leave you behind to be eaten by dinosaurs because you thought you can fight one with your bare hands to impress a girl. Well, an intro. Sure, let's go with that. My name is Tom, also the Lanky Soldier, who is running this show with 2 strings, a hamster, and a high-quality fuel known as pure spite. And today we have another amazing and high-quality episode for you all. And as usual, I'm being joined by a man that doesn't need an introduction, my fellow co-host who's been serving at the Florida Redneck Platoon as an alligator driver, fighting Category 5 hurricanes like it's nothing, with the latest skill being Hurricane Milton, while being starring voice actor because AI stole his job, Ray Edmunds. How's that intro?
Oh shit, dude, that was 10 out of 10. The game's been stepped up now, baby. That's good stuff.
I was low-key thinking about this kind of intro for the last 6 hours.
Yeah, well, on the subject of Milton, yes, we, living in the Tampa Bay area, we did get quite a nice, nasty swing from that bitch, and there's still down trees all over the place. There's still debris everywhere, but the city's coming together in order to try and get everything put back together. My house got power back the Friday after it hit, so big props to Tampa Electric for, you doing your jobs, but, I pay my bill for years on end, so I would hope you guys are doing your jobs. They brought linemen in out of other states in order to get the electrical grid back up and running, tree trimmers, trash haulers, all of these people that have, come from all around the area and around states and help out. It's a freaking awesome thing in order to see people just putting shit aside and doing shit. Riding it out, arguably one of the scariest things I have probably ever had happen in my life, and I say that hands down without a shadow of a doubt, of a moment of hesitation. That was arguably probably one of the stupidest things I'd ever done too, because I do kind of live in a mobile home. I'm not gonna fucking lie in front of it, but it's not the best in the world, but it's not the worst in the world either.
How
but
close
when
were you though?
Huh?
How close you were to the storm though?
Landfall hit like 35, 40 miles south of me.
Okay, so it's not that bad,
It
right?
was supposed to brush just south of me, like the eye wall originally, when they originally projected it, the eye walls, I was supposed to just catch like the northwest corner of the eye wall. So what happened was because it wound up turning more south and hit Bradenton, Sarasota, which is a little bit south of me. It's actually a county south of me, not gonna lie. We caught a lot of the wind and a lot of the rain out of it, and it was brutal, like bad. Like, I've ridden out hurricanes before. I'm no stranger to riding out hurricanes in shitty situations, and I've gotten lucky a lot in my life, and I'm not gonna front about it. It's luck. My parents' house got some damage. Part of their roof got blown off, but we're working on getting that fixed up. But yeah, just sitting here, while the storm's going on, while we still had power, I have a spot in my kitchen that I'm repairing currently because of a roof leak, which I did finally get patched, but you could still see up into the subceiling, which is that space between your roof paneling and where the interior roof of the house is. And, man, every time a major wind gust would come in, I would just watch my metal roofing just lift up off the fucking joists and just slam right back down, and oh man, this bitch gonna peel right off like a fucking tin can. One of these times it's gonna happen, and we gonna be sitting in this bitch, and this is what's gonna suck, because we have a good handful of animals, so evacuation shelters really can't take us, and I'm not leaving my animals behind in a storm. Like,
hell no.
Hell no.
Oh, hell no. I said to many people, I said to Mateo, I said to everyone, I'd rather die with my cat than leaving him behind.
Then leave them somewhere and run to safety.
I will never leave my cat behind to die. Under no circumstance. If he's dying, I'm dying. That's the deal. That's
like
the
there
deal.
was. Did you guys hear about I don't know how far this reached, because like there was a big, huge viral story about somebody who, like, in my area, and this is like maybe 15 miles away from me that this happened. A dog that somebody had abandoned.
Oh, I saw that.
Tied them. And they caught the guy. Like they fucking tracked the guy down, and the dog's being adopted out. So I mean, there's a happy ending to that. But
Fuck
like
the
excuse that he fucking that he gave was like, well, I couldn't take the dog with me, so I didn't have anything else to do. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious?
Nah, fuck
you tied that dog to a fence post in a low-lying area. Like you could look around, any idiot would see that was like he tried to kill that fucking dog.
No,
I'm convinced.
No.
Fuck that piece of shit.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
But definitely no. We could. So that was the primary reason why we couldn't evacuate. And plus, the other places that we had planned on evacuating, a buddy of mine's house who was a little bit more inland than we are. I mean, we're not really on the coast. We're inland pretty well and out of a flood zone. We're in like evacuation zone D, which is like one of the last ones to ever get evacuated in a storm. So we had a buddy.
Because it was not in that much danger, right? That's how it works.
No. Like evacuation zones really get primarily used for like flooding and storm surge and stuff, which is like when the storm pushes the water into the bay. Like that is like a death sentence for this town, because I mean, if you look at a map of the Tampa Bay area, it's the Tampa Bay is a fucking it's a cup. So like anytime a hurricane comes up just south of us, and it comes up like it's if it's south of us, it's better because it pulls the water out of the bay. But if it hits us dead on, or if it comes or if it skeets and skirts just to like the east of us a little bit, that's fucking bad for us. That's really bad, because like 15, 20 feet of water can get fucking pushed in from a Category 4 storm like what we just got hit with, and it would be it would be worse than what we got out of what Milton had. It would be the next step further. It would be that, like what we got now plus a fuck ton more in flooding. It would have been horrible if that thing wouldn't have turned. But, I mean, we got spared in, like it's always said, we got spared on, at the cost of people south of us who got pummeled the hardest by another fucking storm yet again. Because they haven't even finished rebuilding from Helene yet. Like, technically, we weren't even finished cleaning up from Helene yet, and Milton came in.
I did ask
I'm never
ask
riding a storm out.
Define the damage, the minimal damage on the house.
On my house?
Yeah,
I have like a piece of trim that
it's not that bad.
Came down. So like that's it.
Okay, that's fine. That's literally minimal damage. Okay.
Yeah, the age compared to my parents' house, like that's nothing. That's like 20 minutes for me up on a ladder to go fix real quick, which I'm gonna do later this afternoon.
Yeah.
My parents, on the other hand, like we're talking like 10, 15 panels worth of aluminum roofing that has to be replaced, and luckily, their house has an outside ceiling, then a sub-ceiling, then the interior sub-ceiling. So the second sub-ceiling kept the water out while it was raining. So I mean, there was a lot of luck involved in this. I'm not like gonna sit here and sugarcoat, excuse me, how fucking lucky we got. Even though we got whaled, we got lucky.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, like I think I showed you some of the videos and shit that I took like immediately afterwards.
I think you did.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, if not, I'll send them to you again. But like, yeah, it was.
I think you shared in Discord. I don't remember. But yeah, that's the basically this is the longest intro what we talked about. But hey, hurricanes are scary. So
yeah, why not? I mean, that like no joke. Like anybody who went through that with me and everything like that. Like glad you got on the other side. I'm glad everything worked out, and I'm glad we got lucky once again. But man, how many more times are we gonna get lucky? That's all I'm gonna say. Like
I'm telling you, right? I'm to move to Europe. Fuck USA. I'm just
saying, bro.
If
I like, what am I gonna? the thing is like, what am I gonna do professionally over there? Like, I can't really work on
Well,
RVs over
okay,
there
okay,
because
all right,
the electrical
all right.
system you guys have is completely fucking different.
Okay, wait. Okay, so all right. So let's continue this because it's a Battlefield podcast, so I might as well continue that. So before we continue, we have time codes, so you can listen to the specific conversation you want to listen. If you don't care about this hurricane stuff, that's fine. It is a Battlefield podcast, so time codes, use them. They're there for your listening experience. Even though we're the best Battlefield podcast on Spotify and everywhere else, we still want to ask you to leave a rating on Spotify or leave a like on YouTube, because it does help other people to find the podcast. So leave a 5-star rating, that would be great. Thank you guys. More listeners, more Patreon supporters, more episodes. All our socials, of course, are in the description. And if you don't have any socials, that's okay. You can go to the description, go to Google Sheets document that is in the description, and just write your feedback to us. If you don't have a social account, your Twitter, Access, whatever, Facebook, we don't have Facebook. But regardless, if you don't have a social media account, you don't want to email us, you can just click on the Google Sheets document, just start writing your feedback to us, your questions, anything that you want to tell us, just use that. It's that easy. Just start typing and just send. Done. You don't even need an account. And last but not least, we have a Patreon for ad-free early access for BattlefieldOne podcast, including our exclusive Patreon podcast, which has more than 30 episodes at this point, live gaming gathering, where we talk about amazing stuff and so on. So patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Check out. And like I said to Ray, he should be moving to Europe, for all that kind of stuff. So if we get more Patreon subscribers, we can do this for a living. He can
we would actually be local, and we wouldn't have to worry about time zones or any of this other nonsense.
Oh my God, imagine hosting a podcast literally in person. Just sitting in front of each other and just talking. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's a dream. That would be great.
I would fucking cream. Like, we made it. Like, yeah, we made it, dude. We made it.
This is the pinnacle. Yeah, woo!
Or you can be like, hug to a girl and just, I don't know, make some stupid comment and then have your own podcast talk about shit.
Oh my God, that shit just...
I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Every time I keep wanting to give humanity hope and be like, nah, Idiocracy isn't becoming a documentary. That shit happens, and then I gotta be like, well, now I gotta backpedal what I just said. Hey, God damn it, society! Stop making me do that. Stop it.
So patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Check out. We have some amazing stuff there, and your support means a lot to us. So Battlefield. Let's talk about Battlefield. So nothing happening in the Battlefield sphere right now. Literally nothing. So I was thinking, well, there's a couple topics I want to discuss, but decide, you know what? I'll put those topics to the side for now. And let's just talk what we want for the next Battlefield game. And the reason why I want to discuss this, like just general brainstorming idea, what we want for the next game, is mostly because there's still time. If we come up with something maybe amazing or good, right?
There's a possibility they would implement it and pay us for it, right? No.
I know DICE developers listen to this. I do know that. So, or Ripple Effect, or maybe Motive or something like that. I know they listen, so maybe we can come up with something, brainstorming, and maybe they'll have the time to implement it, because still like a year to go, minimum. So maybe.
And while we're on the subject of listening here, if you guys should ever want to just send this off to your casting director, that'd be great for you.
Ray's a really good voice actor, people.
Yeah, that would be an amazing turn of luck, wouldn't it? or not. I mean, we could just do the regular process. I mean, but you guys got to reach out to me. I'm not SAG, man. I can't see y'all's auditions. I can't.
The narcissist in me will say, you want to voice something in the game. I want to be the poster fucking soldier of the next game. I wanna give me the gear, put me everything, put me in front of the cameras and let me pose. That would be the dream.
Even if they would just like they would do for us like they did just hypothetically speaking. Like even if they would do for us like what they did with Battlefield Friends and BF4.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I would die a happy man.
Yeah, I would die.
Because that's things on my career bucket list. Like I want to do something in the Battlefield franchise. Like I mean, objectively speaking, I would kind of prefer to be on a game that's revered and not panned, but I'm not picky in that regard.
Yeah, I'm not picky either.
Two,
like, I'm just
you know,
happy.
Star Trek is the other one.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be part of the process. Whether it's a small reference or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. Like, because we love Battlefield so much, you know, shit or good or whatever, we're still gonna not gonna support.
We
but
ain't getting paid for this, kids, so we're only doing this because we like it.
Yeah, trust me, we have some Patreon supporters, but that doesn't pay the bills. It just literally, yeah, it's like we have like sometimes 5, 10 subscribers or whatever, depending on the month, you know how good it is and everything. But it's
organic.
Yeah, we're doing this for love. The like I said, there's only
it's 100%
I said that behind
pure
the scenes.
unfiltered joy.
Yeah.
Battlefield One podcast, grown between the beautiful hills of Florida and the pasty, foggy depression that is London. 100%.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Pure Battlefield joy.
Yeah, that's accurate. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the next Battlefield game, just discuss what we want for the next game, any ideas or whatever that comes out. Literally brainstorming. We only have some like notes in front of us, but most of it is just gonna come out of our head. Like we didn't plan anything, whatever. We're not gonna talk about we're not gonna talk about the battle royale. That's what the next. That's a separate topic entirely.
That's a whole episode in of itself.
Yeah, I want to tackle that on a separate episode with like an hour and a half maybe minimum, because there's so much to talk there. I want to like properly get into. But like when it comes to brainstorming just ideas about the next Battlefield game, oh that's like, let's see if we can do something in 40 minutes. Like it's just, you know, general brainstorming ideas. Maybe bring something from the old games, maybe come up with something new. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's basically like a low-key wish list, I guess, for the next Battlefield game. I guess, I don't know, brainstorming, see, like, you know. And I decided we're gonna split this way. Basically, single player and multiplayer, because I think that's the accurate way of doing. Because Battle Royale will be the third section of whatever this is, of this whole package. So it's like a separate episode. But we can start with the single player. So, in your opinion, do you want like what kind of single player game do you want for a Battlefield game?
Single player, what I really want is like what I've always said as far as a single player campaign goes. It needs to be like a good, believable story. That's, you know, it has its craziness to it. It has its absurdities per, you know, like Battlefield is as far as multiplayer goes. It needs to tie in along the lines of along the multiplayer. And I'm not talking about like lacklusterly loosely, like how COD Zombies does that, because I mean that's kind of cool that they've jammed a story into that, but at the same time I'm not the biggest fan of like how it's being portrayed, because it if you don't know, it does it in acts, and you don't get like the next ideas of what the fuck is actually going on until you get through an act and see a cutscene, and then you have to get through the next act, which can take you weeks, you know, to do. I don't really like that type of format as far as storytelling goes, because it's really it fits with what's going on, but it's not really something I'm vested in, you know. It's okay, cool, it's there. It's a nice little, I don't know, a dash of cinnamon on a vanilla cupcake. That's about it. It doesn't really set it off, but it's just there. What Battlefield needs to do is what I've always said they need to do. They need to get their universe. They need to set it, establish it, stick to it in a way that COD has. And I'm not saying to just rip them off completely, because again, it would contradict what I just said. You know, they don't need to do what Zombies is doing in order to have multiplayer tied in, but they need to do the single player in a way where the locations make sense, which I think isn't Modern Warfare 3 just the entire Urzikstan map? Like that's it. There's no other maps or anything on that.
No, Verdansk. There's like certain open combat missions in Verdansk.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, in Verdansk.
Okay,
so I can mention that quickly, because I was thinking making a quick video about Modern Warfare 3 before Black Ops 6. It's basically, people complained that there's some comments like, oh, the Modern Warfare 3 single player was... They were using old maps from all games and everything, because it's so lazy and everything. I'm like, well... No.
What the fuck are they talking about?
No, I mean...
What the hell are they on about?
Don't get me wrong. Modern Warfare 3 single player was not that the greatest, don't get me wrong. But you have to understand the context, and in that context kind of made sense for why Verdansk was back in the single player, because it kind of explained some of the loose ends, I guess, or connected to the original game. So it kind of made sense. So it's kind of a really naive thing to say, like, oh, it's because they brought the old maps because there's no time to make something new or whatever. I don't think that's the case. It's still.
If it's a location that's tied to the story
Yeah,
of the
exactly,
game, it's a
yeah.
location that's tied to the story of the game. Like, why would you want to remake that area if it's an asset that can already be brought back in and utilized? Like, you guys not understand that them doing stuff like that is supposed to save on costs, and in a good world, where business ethics is a thing, that would in turn keep development costs down and therefore keep the price of the game down, which we know isn't exactly what's going on, but still, that still works against them. Workflow problems and workflow pacing is still a thing that corporate cares about. Yeah. So you guys can't get pissy at them for reusing assets these days. And besides that, like, there's only so many different ways you can rebuild something in order to make it look differently. And at some point, even me as a 3D artist, I would sit here and go, fuck you guys. If it's going to save me time, I'm reusing the character model. I'm reusing the texture files. I'm just going to do, and if it's shit that I built, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because it's my shit anyway.
Yeah, there's a bigger story here and so on. Anyway, I'm gonna go there. But when it comes to Battlefield single player, this is why I feel least confident about the next Battlefield game. Because originally, if anyone doesn't know, you should listen to our previous episodes, Ridgeline Studios, EA studio that was formed to make a Battlefield single player for the next game. But they got shut down, 7-8 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah. And
the guy that created Halo, or Master Chief in that matter, was handling that studio, and he basically quit. Because, he quit not on good terms with EA, because EA probably was meddling too much with his ideas, vision, whatever you want to say. And he was responsible for making that...
another thing that's got to stop.
Yeah. Whatever the case may be. I don't know what's the story, whatever. Maybe there were disagreements internally with other studios, because this is not one studio thing. This is like a 4-studio thing, and Byron Beatty is the Battlefield group manager, so maybe he said no to something. So God knows. But because that... Oro, can you stop smacking my mic? Thank you. He's smacking my mic with his tail. This is the least confident I feel about, like, the whole package of the next Battlefield game. Because, alright, so clearly they're going back to the drawing board with the single player. Clearly. I don't think it's gonna be a really good single player. I don't think it's gonna be that engaging. It's just gonna be another thing on top. Because what can you make in just, a year? Honestly. A year and a half. From when the studio got cancelled. And they just recently announced that Motive Studios is joining the development for the next single player, or making this Battlefield universe, right? You don't have much time to make something good. I don't think it's going to be a really scripted single player. I don't think that's going to happen, because that takes a lot of resources to do. And I don't think you can make something...
It takes time.
Yeah, and
it's not even really resources so much as time. Like, and you've got to give writers time in order to do the thing.
It's not even writers, it's just for the programmers to make something, I don't think I'm sure you can reuse something for old games and everything, see what can be reused. But again, this is just game development one-on-one. You reuse everything you can. Doesn't mean the single player or the content you're making is going to be good. So this is the way I least confident I feel about the next Battlefield game. But do you think it's going to be a reboot or a sequel? Or something, well... Actually, no, there's only 2 options, yeah.
It needs a reboot. Hands down. I don't think, because let's put it this way. How well received is 2042 right now?
Oh, no. No.
Do you really honestly fucking think a sequel is going to sell? Hell no. It needs a reboot.
Technically will be a prequel. Because it's...
they need to just really... 2042 just kind of needs to just... and I know this was said about BF5, and I don't say this about BF5. I never said it about BF5, but 2042 needs to just kind of be forgotten. I mean, the work that was put into it, the lessons that were learned from it, that does not need to be forgotten. But what it is, kind of like how Hardline was, but wrongly done to, 2042 rightfully needs to just be put behind them. They need to just take a lot of the shit that worked mechanic-wise, like the movement, the vaulting, the live switching of accessories and attachments on your guns and a lot of the shit like that, stuff like that worked. Take that and just reboot Battlefield 3 and 4. That's it. That is all they have to do.
You know what I'm thinking? This is my prediction for the next game.
And if they want to do Battle Royale and really kind of mimic COD, you could make one huge-ass map. Go fucking apeshit with this giant, huge-ass map. And again, like what they do, section off bits of it for certain game modes. And since it's a big island, an idea that I have later, that I'm going to talk about later, will work beautifully with it. And there's no need for expansion packs. You can do your live service model.
I mean, that's what COD
and it'll
did.
work.
That's what COD did. That's what they reused Battle Royale maps for their co-op missions and...
But just go bigger with the map. Because Urzikstan as a map will not work in Battlefield. That's too small, it's too condensed, it's too COD. It needs to be bigger, more vast open spaces for the vehicles and the air vehicles and everything else. Like I would say, you could open up the whole island to air vehicles being able to like have air-to-air combat, and that would make the air-to-air theater much bigger, and the infantry and ground section would just be an area of operations for them. And that would make the game more sweet, okay? Now consider we've now changed the dynamics of how air-to-air combat works in this, okay? There's a reason for, jets in order to try and push helicopters out of the AO, because now they can't engage with the ground forces. Now it's just air-to-air. If, you have a dogfight that's going on, one jet has air-to-ground missiles and guns, and the other jet has, air-to-air. There's an air theater dominance that can be established there. Or we could allow 2, 3, 4 fucking jets to be able to spawn in at a shot and have some really good air-to-air combat moments up in the air while some shit's going down on the ground. Doing something like that makes sense with a high player count, right? Because you're giving these high players something to do and places to go, and you're not jamming them all in on the ground. That would work.
I mean, the way COD did back in 2019 when Modern Warfare 2.19 came out, they took basically Verdansk, the big map, right? And they took small sections of the map and made them into co-op missions and some wannabe conquest mode. And they had vehicles. It had vehicles. It had some
worked.
Call of Duty standard. Call of Duty
standard.
Yeah.
For what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all light armor, but whatever. But imagine that with Battlefield vehicles. And even so, like I was going back and talking about the air-to-air stuff. Let's give recons and stuff gadgets so that they can mark gun runs, flares, smoke, IR smoke. You know what I mean? This opens up whole new buckets of mechanics and potential that could be done. And again, not that I'm saying that Battlefield needs to steal a lot off of COD's plate, because there is quite, a little few things here and there that Battlefield kind of should take to what Call of Duty has done and do it in their own way. But that's kind of been the two games' thing since they started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've always kind of pulled off of each other's plates this entire time. I mean, fuck, now it's gotten to the point where Call of Duty has literally gotten some former DICE developers on staff, okay? You don't fucking believe me? Google it.
Also,
so it's been a thing.
Hey there, listener. I hope you enjoyed the discussion we're having right now. Before we continue, like I said at the start of the episode, I will tell you all about our amazing Patreon that is helping us keeping the show going. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier.
Some Patreon exclusiveness. We here at Patreon would love for
You sound like every nerd in all the 90s TV shows.
First, I want to thank every single person that joined as a free member or subscribed to our Patreon in the last year. The support was amazing and only motivates us to continue with our Battlefield adventure.
He does this knowing full well how much I hate AI generated
Oh
shit.
yeah.
He does this on purpose. It's
This is
fucking
what we
prick.
call capitalism.
This is his way of getting my ass in order to just make money real quick out of nowhere to buy a fucking webcam.
By becoming a patron as a free member or subscribing to any tier, you're not only supporting the show, but you're also getting a lot of content back. By subscribing to any tier, you'll get ad-free early access to all our future episodes. You can already listen to our previous episodes ad-free by just joining the Patreon as a free member. No more waiting, no more interruptions, just pure, unfiltered Battlefield content straight to your ears before anyone else gets to hear it. We're also giving you behind-the-scenes look what goes into making Battlefield 1 podcast or any other content we're producing. From planning sessions to recording mistakes and everything in between, you'll get an insider's perspective of how we bring each episode to life. And the reason why I'm saying
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
It's all your f***ing fault, Ray. How did you ruined the whole show? We need to cancel it again. Again.
Just got can it for another 8 months again. Just appear out of nowhere with
Yeah, we
with
need to
different set
cancel
of
it
colors.
again. Ray, what the f*** did you do? And that's only Battlefield. We're also offering access to our exclusive Patreon podcast series, Live Gaming Gathering. This is a show where me and my friends gather together to talk about everything in the video game industry, to movies, to anything else that is on our minds. With more than 30 episodes already available, this is hours and hours of content for you to listen. Trust me, they are the most fun and amazing conversations we ever had because it's just us being us, relaxed and actually having fun.
Alright, I think we need to move on because we've been kind of on this subject for about the last 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
We got a couple of things in order.
Are you feeling better now? Let this
Yes,
team off?
Yeah, you got that
I
off
do
your
feel
chest.
I do feel better. Oh no, wait, one more thing. For example, Angelo.
damn.
No, we were in
I'm not
discussion.
gonna mention any names.
We also believe in keeping our patrons informed, so I'll post monthly updates to let you know what to expect in the upcoming month. So you'll always know what to expect in the future if you're not sure about the content we're posting. And just recently, we opened a new Discord server where people can talk to each other and get all the latest updates about our content or the Lanky Soldier channel. Please find a link to that Discord in the description of this episode or our Patreon. No subscription needed for that. And because we're confident that you'll love the content we're creating, we offer a free trial that you can use anytime. We believe we're making good content that will make you stay in the long term, and we will not be offering free trials if I do not believe that.
Do y'all hear that, major advertisers that aren't listening right now? You can do tasteful ad breaks.
Battlefield 1 podcast was rebooted back in March 2023. We learned a lot of lessons from our previous shows that consist of 41 episodes, and we've been building an amazing foundations for the future of this current show. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield-related podcast available on Spotify and everywhere else. So if you want to support the show and get all these amazing extras, go to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep delivering the content you enjoy. Thank you for being part of our small Battlefield community, and we look forward to seeing you on Patreon. Now, let's go back to the show. Okay, so coming back on the reboot and sequel, you say it's gonna be a reboot, right?
I would say if decisions that make sense were made, it should be.
I will say this. I think it's gonna be a reboot, but it will have references to the older games. Because I feel, okay, for what it seems like, at least this is my prediction, I don't know. Iron Beatty is a person that likes to use real life events and locations, or whatever the case may be, for his games. At least from what I've seen. At least when it comes to first-person shooters.
Right.
Warzone, funny enough, the original Warzone, was based on real-life location, on real-life conflict, which is the Ukraine war, well, before it became a war, but it was basically part of...
No! What?
I forgot the name of the town, shit. Anyway, it's like the east side of Ukraine, right? A town. And the whole map is based on that town. The airport is basically almost a carbon copy of the real life airport that is in that town. So he's kind of, so I don't know if it was his decision, whatever the case may be, but that's the aesthetic they went for. They kind of were like want to go on somewhat like it's based on something that happened. Maybe that's why people enjoyed it that much, even though I don't think that's the case because people don't really realize that much. But that was the thing. So I have a feeling it's gonna be. And from what the leaks are saying about the next Battlefield game, it's gonna be like NATO versus some military faction. Those what's it called, mercenaries, private military, whatever the case may be, right? Now, on context like this, NATO will just destroy all of them. That's no questions asked. But I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some story beats or whatever explaining why against NATO, why this private military is going against NATO or whatever the case may be. But I have a feeling it's going to be a reboot based on somewhat real life events that are happening in the world.
Well, I mean,
there's
what they need to do is, if they're going to do that, again, do it in a way like Call of Duty did, like make it in a way that, okay, it's subtly obvious, not blatantly obvious.
Yeah. They're not gonna go straight directly like, oh, this is Ukraine or this is Israel or some crap.
What they really should do
they're gonna change names, they're gonna change locations.
To get away from all this, to really to get away from like it having it completely grounded in like this reality. Let's just do, I don't know, slight, subtle, alternate history. That way it's completely different, and they're free to do whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a universe that exists that's, like, you know, it's not parallel to ours, but, you know, there's, you know, roughly the same things. Change names, change people's names, just do what's essentially referred to as creative writing, and it can be done. And a way that would make sense if 3 and 4 would be, because that's essentially what 3 and 4 was. It was pretty much, you know, parallel to, you know, current conflicts of events. We were mostly in the Middle East at the time still.
Yeah, but according to the leaks, that's what they're going for. The game is going to take place in 2027 and 2023. So, like, between that time. So we're talking, what, 3 years in the future?
Yeah, 3 to 5
was announced.
tops. Yeah, so, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, when Battlefield 3 was announced, it was like taking place 3 years before.
And it gives them the ability in order to have some crazy
Yeah.
concept tech based on what's going on or what's been, you know, put out by DARPA.
It's not even
and
that.
shit
It's just
like
like
that.
it,
I mean,
it gives them,
still leaves things open.
it gives them opportunity to make it fiction but believable at the same time, which it's a nice trick to use when you need like some make creative liberties, which is fine. But here's the thing. I think it's going to be a reboot, but it's going to be with some references to the older games. Unless, as soon as you add, you know, let's say, okay, you can't put Irish in there because the actor passed away. But you still have Pac, you still have Hannah from Battlefield 4. You know, maybe bring some characters from Battlefield 3. You can still, I guess the actors, if they're up for it, they still can reprise their roles. And it will kind of make sense age-wise. I mean, sure, you can de-age them or age them, whatever the case may be. If you bring those characters back, sure, it's not a reboot. It's a sequel. Like, okay, so that means Battlefield 2042 is canon and all that kind of stuff. Like, okay, sure, whatever. But I think it's going to be a reboot. And I think those characters will be brought back. Even though it would be kind of cool to see them, like, you know, in their prime, you know. And you don't need Irish for that, because you can just establish these characters doing something else on the time. But that's regarding single player. Regarding gameplay, single player, I don't know. Like I said, this is the least confident I feel about the next Battlefield game is the single player part, because I think the single player is gonna be not that good, and even if the story is really, really good, which I don't think it will, loads of question marks, and I have a lot of, I'm really worried about the single player. I'm really worried, just because what happened in the last year regarding this. Anything single player you want to mention? I mean, I gameplay wise, I don't know what to say, honestly. It just depends what kind of story they have. You know,
the gameplay would have to tie in with the story, like, and I would like for it in order to do a wide variety of types of missions. Like, you have your stealth operator missions, you have your outright infantry missions. You know, you have your air. You know, basically, Battlefield 3's campaign really wasn't that bad in the fact that it crossed over with a lot of different vehicles and things.
I think it's underrated.
So something like that would work. That would work amazingly.
I remember people bitch about Battlefield 3 campaign. Nah, I'm sorry. It's underrated. Battlefield 3 single player is good. It's good. It has decent characters, has some good drama that it's supposed to have. It had some cool moments, and it felt big, but at the same time it felt condensed in a good way. And it didn't feel forced. You know, that mission again, like when you're like on a hill and you see Russian troops are landing, it's not because they want to fuck you up. They're doing something that is needed for them, you know? And they have this conversation. Wait, is this war if we start shooting them? Not if you fire the opponent, so all that kind of stuff. Like those little details made the world feel real, you know, back in the day. You know, the Battlefield 3 single player, I think, is a good single player because of all those little details. It kind of sold the idea, oh, this is not some I'm a super soldier shooting bad guys. You know, it's like, oh, you do feel the tension in some shape or form that something is happening. And not Aaron are just stereotypical robotic characters. No, they do their own thing and what makes sense for them, and that makes it interesting. Battlefield 4 single player, sure, it has some interesting ideas, but I don't think it's that good.
You didn't do nearly as much as you did in the BF4 campaign as you did in the BF3 campaign. Like I'm just gonna say that. Like you got to pilot a jet, or you didn't get to pilot a jet. You got to sit second seat in the jet. But I mean, still, you got to do that in BF3. You got to gun a tank, which I mean you got to do in 4 as well. Just not nearly as long, I think. 4 was a lot more infantry focused as far as the campaign went, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I will not really ever say that's a bad thing. But Battlefield really isn't just about infantry to infantry combat. So that being said, I firmly believe that they needed to do a bigger array of things, more stuff to do, more missions along the lines thereof, and not just 99% infantry with some vehicle stuff sprinkled in once in a great while, if you're lucky. That's not in the spirit of the game. That's not in the spirit of what Battlefield multiplayer is, because you're not just doing infantry combat the whole time. I mean, there are times you can get in a vehicle and you'd be in IFV and you need to sit in a seat in that in order to catch a ride, shit like that. Do insertion missions where you're in an IFV as a gunner, have a rail shooting section of it. Go, get creative with shit. There's plenty of mechanics there in order to tie in that would make sense in all of the ways easily. You just got to write it and make it. And I really sincerely hope that they can pull that off. That's what it needs. And then have a good, solid multiplayer as well.
Which we can go now. What are your expectations for the multiplayer game? Like the multiplayer section of Battlefield?
No goddamn... No fucking operators.
Okay, well, that's confirmed. It's classes.
I just want classes.
Yeah,
just
it's confirmed. It's classes. So don't worry about that. It's classes.
Give me the class system similar to 4 because, I wasn't restricted with 4. I know some people get, a little pissy over that one, but whatever. I liked having, recons be able to run with carbines and stuff like that. That opened up that class to be able to do a lot other different things.
I have a question, though.
What?
You mentioned that. I have a question. Do you think weapons should be restricted to a specific class? Because
yes and no.
I have a hot take. We might bitch about Battlefield 2042 for many things, but having all weapons available to each class is not a bad thing. Because that's not what makes the class a class. I personally...
the class is the abilities and the gear and the side gear that carry.
I have no problem with a medic having a sniper rifle, honestly. Because
I mean, they get DMRs, so why not?
Sniper, DMRs, whatever the case may be. I have no problem with classes running a specific gun because I think it creates opportunity for the classes to be more expressive in their gameplay. People might disagree because, again, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 era, where weapons was restricted to each class. But I'm like, why not? Why not open that up for other classes? Like I would love to be a recon and just running around with this SMG in some particular area, like throw a Pokeball and you like spot in the small area or wherever the case may be. When I say Pokeball, I mean those like balls that you can spot enemies in the small area, whatever the
I
case
can't
may be.
remember what they're called.
I don't
Yeah,
remember what
called
they
them
call. Yeah, in
Pokeballs,
the
too.
original game, I don't know, but we always called them Pokeballs just because you'd like go Pokeball, spot me some red dots on the minimap.
Pokeball, I choose you.
Yeah,
Help me shoot that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, help me find a red dot on the minimap. But yeah, I would love to like make the recons be more aggressive. They don't limit them to like camping on a hill with a sniper or something like that. I think it encourages people to be more expressive, and I can't. That was never my problem with Battlefield 2042. That's for sure. I think it was a positive change when it comes to like classes. So that's my hot take. I think people are kind of too lean on the old games and don't think what's better for the future and what's better, like how can you make, okay, how would you make Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 better? I think making the weapons available to each class would make them a bit better, in my opinion. I don't think it would restrict the classes. I think it would encourage different gameplay elements. But that's my hot take. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, I mean, I get what you're getting at. I mean, it does allow a lot of things, and even I even in a way, I that was the yes and no part about what I was about to say. I mean, yeah, I don't think it should be complete restrictions, because that restricts what should be restricted to classes is the gear that they carry and what they're capable of doing.
I agree with that.
You know, giving somebody unlimited ammo with a long distance bolt action sniper rifle, I mean, that can technically already be done with a support class on the side on top of a recon, so you're not really stopping something that can't be done. And besides
God, that reminds me.
what's infinitely worse? A fucking a long range sniper that can't hit shit with infinite ammo, or a guy with an LMG that's only short range and has unlimited spray and pray. Let's get real here, guys. What's going to be work in our favor for stupidity?
You know what that reminds me? I remember I was talking to DICE developers, and I was pushing this idea for the support class to have unlimited ammo. And when I say unlimited ammo, the only thing that stopped them from shooting was literally the reload. And the reloads would be long. Why I proposed, and I remember I proposed this idea to the public. It's like, listen, I would love to have this, that support class, because they have the ammo, they throw the ammo and everything, they will have unlimited ammo. So literally you have the infinity sign where the ammo count is, except how many bullets you have in the mag. And I was pushing for the idea is because you're already throwing ammo at yourself. What's the point? You want to throw ammo for your friendlies, not for yourself. So it makes sense just to make it like it's a really small change that doesn't change anything, but at the same time it kind of makes it feel more like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about my ammo. I have to worry about someone else's ammo, and in my way that kind of encourages people to think about someone else other than yourself. Granted, if all the weapon classes, let's say, are available to each class, it will not make sense for the support guy to have unlimited ammo regarding, assault rifle. I think that's a bit OP. But maybe you can restrict them to LMGs only. So if you're running an LMG for the support class, I think you are allowed to have an infinite sign in your ammo count, because it's an LMG. Long ass reload. You have 150 bullets in that gun, and it takes
200 with an extended. Well,
yeah, exactly, with the attachments and everything.
Mag,
yeah. So I think it makes sense for them to have unlimited, ammo. It just because I remember Medal of Honor Warfighter had classes, and they had a support class which literally did that, and I realized, oh wow, that actually makes so much sense for the support class, because he has already given ammo. His job is to give ammo, be a support, and why he has to worry about his ammo? That's not his fucking job. Job. You already take care of yourself. You support others. That's how I think. And I remember I proposed this in public, and people were bitching at me like, no, the support has to do it himself and so on. I'm like, but you're already doing that. Who cares? It doesn't change anything gameplay-wise. You're already doing that. It doesn't change gameplay. It doesn't change your gameplay. It just encourages you to be more supportive towards your teammates. Throw ammo for them, not for yourself. And because you have a cooldown when you throw a ammo box and everything, so It just makes more sense. You know, instead of throwing it for yourself, you save it for the teammates because you have a cooldown when you can throw the box again. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't like cooldowns on those things. I really don't. But
you don't want to spam it,
But at the same
though.
time, you don't want the spam of it.
Yeah, you don't want like a gazillion medkits, you know. I mean, sure, you destroy your previous one.
But here's the argument. That's what fucking explosives are for.
Yeah,
At the same time, you know, the thing is there's always been a counter to something. It's just how creative you've got to think. Oh my God, I got 5 medics stacking up there that are just constantly raining fire on us, and have one guy dropped an ammo bag for them, and you know they're constantly dropping med bags. All right, if your entire squad of 5 responds with a good fucking cluster of not only throwing grenade span, but if somebody else shows up with an MGL6, you can clear that out easily. It's not hard. You've just got to coordinate, and this is where team play comes in. And my counterpoint to a lot of players acting selfish and doing solo things is, okay, well, great, that they're going to perform well on their own. For one, fine, that's going to help your team out in a way anyway, because even if all they're doing is running around racking kills up, then, that's still knocking tickets off the board there, boys. But the other side of that coin is for a lot of people, a solo game is a boring game. And if you have a game that rewards more points based on teamwork and team efforts, then you're going to have a lot more people actually trying to actively at least somewhat do the team play tactics. So, there you go.
Yeah. You kind of have to make it fun for the solo player because, I understand encourage teamwork and all that kind of stuff, great. But if it's not fun for the solo player, which is like majority of the player base, in any video game, that is
or doable.
Yeah,
because that's one point I do give COD as far as zombies go. Like, you can play that shit solo, so
yeah,
you just gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, so if the solo gameplay is not fun, you lost. You're done. I'm sorry, you're done.
You've lost me, yeah.
Unless it's a comparative shooter, but Battlefield is very allergic to comparative. So. Unfortunately, and people
hold on. No, because that's a bad point. Because that makes us hypocrites. Because we've proven that competitive Battlefield is possible.
Let me clarify. I want a competitive Battlefield. Listen here, people. Battlefield can be an amazing competitive shooter that can change esports forever. But
and it can be fun. It can be entertaining.
Extremely fun.
Yeah.
But you all people at the Battlefield subreddits cry about competitive Battlefield. Battlefield has to be big and chaotic and everything. That's fine. You can have that.
It can be that.
It can still be that in competitive.
Play competitively.
I will die on this hill. Battlefield is like the perfect game to be a competitive shooter. Like Battlefield can be a competitive battle royale and all that kind of stuff, or a 5-on-5 experience. Doesn't matter. Battlefield is a sandbox and it can be done right. But people bitch about everything that is, I don't know. Like, oh my god, they stole this from COD. Oh my god, they stole this from Valorant. Oh my god, they stole this from someone else. I'm like, oh my god.
Who fucking cares?
Oh my god,
Who cares
females.
anymore?
Like, stop. Just stop. Stop. Okay? Grow up. Anyway. Regarding multiplayer,
giving gamers TM lectures.
Oh my god. There was already a conversation about the next Battlefield game, and some people say like, oh, they should not have females because females are... No, shut the fuck up. Stop.
There are ladies that fight in wars.
Stop being a sexist pig. Just stop. It's a video game.
Just leave your shit at the door and enjoy the game.
Yeah,
if you can't enjoy the game, get the fuck out.
Seriously. Anyway, regarding anything else we wanted to talk about classes? Anything that particular sticks out?
No, I mean, other than just letting them be open enough in order to be creative with. The class system should be loose enough that I'm essentially creating my own class, and the gadgets would be the base. That's it. If you want to run as a medic, then you can have a medic-based class, and you can call it whatever you want. You want to call it a recon medic? All right, cool. There you go.
As I was going through notes, I wrote some stuff. how distinct the classes should be.
Enough that they can impact the gameplay and not get buried.
The reason I'm
like,
asking...
again, that gives them roles and reasons.
The reason I'm asking that is because it's obvious. There's going to be skins. There's going to be cosmetics.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, people, but the more times goes on, you won't be able to have your milsim aesthetic. At one point, you will get some goofy skins once in a while. But can that goofy skin still be a goofy skin, but be... what's the word I'm looking for? Not unique, distinct, to tell you from distance, like, oh, this is a medic.
No, fuck that, no,
What?
fuck that. Let that shit happen. Let the goofy skins and crazy shit happen, okay? But like I've said before, and this is where Battlefield can stand out differently. For these specific people who want that visual aesthetic to stay, you just have somewhere in the menus option
to disable the skins.
have a tick box that says disable skins.
I know.
And that problem is completely solved.
And
you tell people it's there.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay. You know what? Any more options for the player is a good thing. I don't think it will happen.
Or hell, or if I don't like a skin that a certain player has, give me the ability to turn it off.
Yeah,
if Tom spawns in with a fucking Hello Kitty outfit on,
hell yeah.
and I don't want to see that shit, and it bothers the hell out of me,
you
okay,
racist pig.
let me click on his profile, have a little box underneath of it that says show skin, and press the button. And when that tick box is enabled, it's just a generic fucking skin.
But Ray, how can I teabag you without my Hello Kitty skin?
That's whatever. You can do it on your screen, and it's happening on your screen, and that doesn't change the fact that it's a thing that happened. But on my screen, if I don't want to see it, then fine. That's the best middle ground that anybody is ever going to find to this shit.
Yeah,
just give the player the ability to just turn it off. Hell, let's go the next step further. Let's satisfy some misogynistic douche belt nozzles right now. Let's solve your problems, gentlemen. We'll have a tick box that enables women.
Oh no.
Enable skin color. If this is what you got, if this is the level of customization that it's going to take in order to get people to shut the fuck up about petty shit, then let's just fucking do it. Seriously.
They will never shut the fuck up about
if somebody,
petty shit.
Whatever, you want to play your Battlefield game with nothing but, homogeneously white, blue-eyed people, what the fuck ever. It's fine. You're enjoying the game, I don't care.
It's just a whole team of Andrew Tates in military gear.
For real. Let a motherfucker have it. Sell the skin pack so that they can do it. Make some money off of it. Whatever. Does it really fucking matter? If what happens on my screen is what matters to me most than anything else, and that is an attitude that every fucking player in the known universe has. What happens on my screen is what matters most. So give them the option to cater themselves to what they see on the screen. Done. Problem solved. I have solved all of the fucking video game problems now.
You know what? Jokes aside,
who's joking?
Well, I'm sure. I would love them to have, instead of selling individual skins, like actual finished skins for the game, like for the characters and everything, for the classes, all that kind of stuff, I would love them to have a custom, like soldier customization, like World War III has. You can change the helmet, you can change the top, the jacket and all that kind of stuff. You can change the pants, maybe even the shoes and so on. I will love that. And classes, you can only get a specific type of helmet, for example, for each class, and you can customize that helmet. Like, yeah, it's maybe pink, sure, but it's a specific shape of helmet or a specific customization that you can tell it's a specific class. That would be like the ideal customization for me personally. I would like to have, you can customize your class and so on, but you can't customize it to an extent that it changes the model or the shape of the character, of the class. You can still tell it's a medic. Sure, it's a Hello Kitty medic, but you can tell it's a medic, and that I would actually.
Suits don't just belong to recon classes.
Yeah, whatever, right? For example, there's a.
I want to be an assault rifle wielding bush Wookiee. Let me do it.
Yeah,
God
exactly.
damn it.
Let me be a bloody bush Wookiee, but you can still tell it's
I have so badly wanted to be a bush Wookiee.
Yeah, but you can tell it's a recon, right? Or a bush Wookiee that is literally pink or white, but you can tell.
Yeah, give me the ability to customize the colors of it. Holy shit, yeah, if I could change my bush Wookiee suit to like adapt to the environment around me, like if I don't go into a snow map, cool.
Yeah,
pop in while the
exactly.
lobby's loading and change my fucking camo color. Give me that ability.
And if EA wants to make money, why not sell individual?
Sell me the base for it.
Yeah,
but don't sell me the colors. Sell me the base for it and give me the ability to customize
but you can
it, for fuck's
sell
sake.
you can sell very individualistic, specific skins for that part.
I will pay no more than $5 for a
And yeah,
digital
and make
bush
them-
Wookiee suit.
make
I'm
them as
making that
cheap-
point clear right now.
Yeah, make them as
Make
cheap as
it
possible.
cheap.
Yeah, make them
Open
cheap
your
as
fucking
possible.
market up as wide as you can. For any of the marketing monkeys that are listening right now, here's your sign. Here's your hint. Open the market up as wide as possible. People are fucking broke these days.
Yeah, and people will buy, even broke as hell. I will definitely buy, you can buy a helmet.
I would buy
for
the base game and some skins.
Yeah, you can buy a helmet for like $2. Like, I'm buying it. I'm buying like gazillion helmets. Do I spend the same money as I spend on like Call of Duty, let's say? Yeah, but goddamn, I was like, look at all these helmets. I can play dress up with my soldier. Like, people have to realize how much stuff like this matters. Because at the end of the day, people want to express themselves,
Here's a fun one for you. I'll give you this one. This is an excellent selling point. You want to drive sales of some fucking battle passes, guys? All right, I got you. Come here. Listen to me very closely, okay? What you do is you have a specific cosmetic shop that is open and available with some premium currency. Now, again, you've got to be generous with this stuff. You can't be stingy, because if you're stingy with it, you're going to piss people off, and you don't want to piss people off. We don't piss our market off. Anyway, when they buy a battle pass, not only in some of the nodes will they get some of this premium currency, that you can't buy. You cannot buy it other than the passes. And, eventually you can cycle in older cosmetics that were included in, events that people might not have been able to accomplish, or tasks that they can't get done, things like that. And you have this store open up with all of the cosmetic options that you could have. And then that way you give people an incentive to buy the pass, not only in order to get, the seasonal pass, battle pass crap, but base cosmetics and other stuff too. Goggles, small stuff.
Yeah.
Goggles, trinkets, vests, camo patterns. But again, when you get the camo pattern, give me the ability to change the colors on it. I know you fuckers know how to do it. I built models too.
I know how to
stuff like
change a
that.
color.
I know how it's done. Open that up, because that is a level of customization that your competitors don't have and no one has done. And it's a great market. It's a great way to tie a market into the game and not make a market that is somewhat of a game, because that's another distinction that needs to be set. You can't just have it be a storefront with a game tied to it. It needs to be a game with a storefront tied to it.
Yeah, Call of Duty is guilty of that.
Yeah, they've done that right. It's not shit that's necessary. It's not shit that's going to break the game. It's not shit that gives you an unfair advantage. It's pretty good. I respect what COD has done. I won't spend much money in it, but I respect it. If Battlefield would do that, stay below the $10 price range for shit. $10 I would consider to be premium for a cosmetic. $20, I'll wait till that shit comes down when you realize ain't nobody with a real sense buying that. And for God's sake, stop fucking whale chasing. Because if you make the store cheap, they're gonna buy the fucking store out anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Are you gonna seriously sit there and be like, I don't want to make $10,000 because I could make $50,000 over 6 months? Like, that's fucking stupid. Just make the goddamn money and make new shit. It pays for your jobs.
Yeah. Hey there, listener, me again. Sorry for interrupting you again, but if you're already this deep in this episode, I presume you enjoy our conversations. So why not check out our older episodes after you're done with this one?
Don't be a doobie.
Do a podcast of solid, right? We had some amazing conversations that are still relevant to this day, and we don't want you to miss them out. If you haven't already, go listen to our interview with big content creator you probably know, Westy for example, who was more than willing to have a conversation with us about Battlefield.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, "Angel does it again," and it just,
That was something, right?
That was something. But you know what I mean? Like, the two didn't work. Like, you could have done specialists.
Or our recent interview with former DICE developer James Conner, who shared some amazing behind-the-scenes developer perspective on Battlefield franchise.
Listen to this podcast. It's awesome. I love Lanky. He's been a great resource to the Battlefield community for years now.
You're the only person that actually gave any compliment to me about anything regarding that. Long story short, we have some amazing episodes that are worth listening, and we're just happy that you're enjoying our discussions about Battlefield. And again, I want to thank you for listening, and please enjoy the rest of the discussion we're having right now. I know your internet is lagging, but I know you're recording, so...
Yeah, it's probably...
you're back
still
now.
some storm damage.
Okay, you're back to normal now. Okay, I guess we can do like the last 5-10 minutes. Okay, I don't want to talk about factions yet. Not important.
No, because we would need more on story.
Yeah, exactly. We just know it's NATO and some private military. Like, doesn't matter. Modes. I mean, I'll go simple. I will just go simple. Just, of course, conquest. I know people want breakthrough, but I don't want breakthrough. Okay, I just want conquest.
I want rush.
Yeah, I want conquest. 12 rush, and maybe a domination, and I'm okay. That's it. I don't need any breakthroughs. I don't need any special modes, whatever. Just keep it simple. That's my personal take. It's like,
I want carrier assault back.
Okay, give me that, yeah. Right.
And I say that
give me that, yeah.
because I hinted at this earlier. Now, everybody remember when I sat here and went, yeah, let's have a big island, or the big ocean around it? Let's do carrier assault. How would that work? Easy. You have a shit ton of water around a giant island. Think about it. You could put the carriers on rails where one is chasing the other, and you could have support ships, a couple of support boats, destroyers that, up to 3 to 4 people could control, a la Battlefield 1, because we've established that that's a cool thing that could be done. That was actually pretty neat. I liked that. And you can protect the carrier. And the whole match, everybody's just going around the island in circles until one of the carriers goes boom.
Yeah.
Sound fun, kids? You want to be infantry? Hop your ass in a rib boat, or hop your ass in a transport helicopter. You can have air-to-air with that, too. Jets, bomber jets, jets equipped with bombs. Fat kids, skinny kids. Anyway, even kids with chicken pox. But you know what, you guys, you get where you get the potential of a mode like that, and don't even just make it where the infantry can just board the carriers. Make it so they can board the other ships too, real quick, and you could get out of the seat and run on the ship as well, and possibly shoot back, because you get one player who wants to jump down on you and throw some C4 in the right spot and tank your fucking and sink your battleship. Cool.
Yeah, I would like to have carrier assault. But yeah, I want to keep it simple. Okay, sure. Conquest, carrier assault, and 2 small modes. Rush and, I don't know, domination, something like that, for some infantry combat or whatever. And if they want to, they can play around with playlists like, oh, here's infantry only conquest. Oh, there's infantry only rush or whatever. Like, that's fine. I want to keep it simple. I don't want gazillion modes. Once in a while you can have like a goofy mode one, but I don't want something too much, because when there's so many modes, it gets overwhelming, and I don't want that, especially for a Battlefield game. And I can assure right now, the Battle Royale section is not gonna come out on launch day. I don't think it will, and everyone's just gonna be on standby mode for that. So I don't want to be myself going through each different mode and experience everything. Like, just keep it simple. Let me just enjoy the game. And
simple but customizable.
Yeah.
Would be the best thing.
Like
Portal, bring Portal with you.
Yeah, what about your idea that we talked about a couple episodes ago? What about the whole multiplayer section of this Battlefield game is literally just Portal. You know, you have your official DICE servers, but if you want to host a server, make your own Battlefield Portal-like mode or whatever, that's fine, you can. Like, just be the multiplayer, be the sandbox that people want Battlefield to be. You know, Portal alone can be a game by itself, so why can't just be the multiplayer section of the next game? I'm okay with that, you know, and if people, you know, you can port all that work you did on Portal right now, port that to the next game, make it even better, you know, with like, imagine if I can put flags where I want. Just imagine, you open the map, you put 3D flag where you want, and that's your flag. Like, that alone will like, chef's kiss, you know?
Oh, and here's where it gets even better, kids. You could take in concept, like, you know, if that particular map setup gets really popular, then, you know, they could do such things like community maps of the week, where that map and that map setup gets featured, and it's put into official rotation. You know, you could do that. Opens up the door for a lot of community involvement, and that's a thing that this franchise has been desperately freaking needing. And James said it the most, even when he was here. You know, that, and I wholly agree. That's what has been missing the most, is the community involvement. When BF4, when there was that drastic ass change even in how platoons function from between Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, that alone right there was a freaking nail in a coffin. Bring that shit back too. Bring the communities back. Bring back the ability for the communities to make their own game sets. If the Milsim guys want to make fucking high DPR, crazy ass shit, let them do it. Let them make those servers, but give them the ability in order to advertise those servers as such. Give Pro Tools back and everything else. Give all that back. Give it back to the community. Give us the tools. Make good tools. But let us use them.
Because realistically, if they're trying to replicate what Call of Duty is doing, you know, having like a big mode, Battle Royale, whatever, right, which is free to play, then you have your premium thing, which is Battlefield. Listen, realistically, if the Battle Royale section is good, if it's good, majority of the time I'll be spending my time there. But I still want to enjoy Battlefield. You know, so let me make my own experiences. Let me join other people's experiences. Let me just have fun in the Battlefield game. That's all it is. Like, just let me have fun on our terms. Yes, it's nice to like have official DICE servers and everything, which I will play on majority of the time. But at the same time,
for those who like using quick match, yeah.
Because sometimes I just want to play, you know. But at the same, like when I feel cheeky, I would love to play someone's made mode. You know, someone made a mode in Portal and it's really good and so on. And it's like maybe
or I want to do handguns only Dom.
Yeah, maybe DICE can maybe promote it in the main game, like in the like community highlight mode or something like that of the week. You know, I would love that. I would love to see what people create. I would love to see people's creativity, you know, getting showcased and promoted, all that kind of stuff. I would love that because Battlefield is a sandbox and I want to see that. You know, I want Battlefield to be expressive and so on. And when you get serious and so on, let's go back to Battle Royale. It's fine. Like, it's fine. And of course, keep your Battlefield Conquest matches and everything. It's fine. But just an extra layer of just like expression. Will that happen? We don't know. This is why this episode is basically a brainstorm.
I would sincerely hope so. I really would hope so.
This is just a brainstorm. That's what we would like to see. Right, we talked about... Oh, what's your opinion about emotes?
I mean, God. Do I have to?
Yes.
I mean, sometimes in some cases, they work in place of the Camaros. Like if you could have emotes for people pointing or, you know, giving hand signals and stuff like that. If they can't communication, either way, doesn't matter.
See, I'm mixed. Because, for example, when you're in the lobby matchmaking, yeah, third person, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. But in game, I don't know. I actually don't know. I want to see how it works in Call of Duty because Call of Duty is bringing emotes. and that third person for now. And people are asking them, can you limit them to first person in game? So I don't know how. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what can get. Well, I kind of know what can get wrong, but at the same time, I don't see the big issue. You know, it would be such a small issue exploited by certain people, like third person, right? You switch to third person to see what's around the corner, right? That sounds game breaking, right? And I don't know. Again, it depends how the emotes work. Maybe there's like a huge delay. Like there's no point switching to third person, emote just to see what's around the corner. You will die before you even manage to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something like maybe there's some other ways to implement that without breaking, the game or whatever the case may be.
All of the emotes make noise in some way, and it's very loud. So your dumbass gives your position away every time.
Well, there could be just emotes, just body signs or whatever, like hand signs.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
It also depends what kind of emotes like you want to have. Do you want to have like really goofy ones, or you want to have somewhat realistic ones? It all depends. Like, oh, what about emotes? Just I don't know, a soldier whips out a bloody radio and just dances to some music. I don't know. How goofy do you want to take it?
See, in Battle Royale, that would be fine for me, but in like Conquest or any other like more serious game mode, no. I really don't. But again, yeah. See, I didn't even see how you could make that turn off so that nobody else could see it, other than just it shows that their player character just standing there.
Yeah.
But on your screen, it would look like they just stopped moving for a second for the dumbest reason in the world and got shot, which to me sounds funny as hell.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I really imagine they will do some goofy skins, or not skins, emotes. Cause believe it or not, I know people screaming, "Oh, my Milsim and everything," but dudes, we are human. We do stupid shit, even in the military. I mean, crap. There's a guy in Ukraine fighting for the Ukrainians with fucking cat ears on his helmet. That's real. There was a pilot.
Be a troll, I know, and I love it.
There's a pilot that was wearing a Santa Claus costume, literally just flying a jet and blasting Russians. Or there was a Spider-Man, I think, or something like. I don't remember. There was. People are dumb and people do stupid shit, and of course you want to do that stupid shit in a video game. That's why
it makes the most sense.
Right. Like, we are dumb human beings, do stupid human things, and a soldier whipping out something out of his pocket and doing something in a Battlefield game as an emote, I think it makes sense. Because, again, expressive, sandbox, all that kind of stuff. I mean...
Oh, no. Here, I will draw the inarguable parallel, okay? If people who think that, emotes and stuff like that are a little bit on the crazy side, depending upon what they are, because there are some that I find to be just completely stupid and ill taste and just out of place. Fortnite. But Fortnite itself, all of that shit makes sense.
That's the premise of Fortnite.
It's just the cringe that I'm not the biggest fan of, and that's a personal
that's what
taste,
makes
and
Fortnite
I can distinguish
the
that.
Cringe.
Right, there you go. See, falls on personal
That's
taste.
why I love Fortnite. Fortnite, it knows what it is. That's why I'm a big fan of certain games, because they know what they are. Call of Duty knows what it is. Fortnite knows what it is. Apex Legends know what it is. It's just
Battlefield needs to now know what it is.
Yeah, Battlefield
because,
is just
again,
confused what the fuck it wants to be. So hoping
the parallel that I was about to draw there was okay, if the goofy shit as far as emotes and stuff go, okay, tell me in real life how often a soldier would strap three bricks of C4 to the front of a Jeep and go barreling towards a fucking tank.
Oh, every day, come on, that's why. Is that not normal in the military?
To detonate it in real fucking life. Or actually, has somebody actually done a Rendazook in real life? I'm actually fucking curious. Like, if we're gonna go and call some bullshit, crazy shit out in this game, I'll go the opposite side.
Navy SEALs right here.
Stupid it is.
Navy SEALs killing Bin Laden. Start some C4 on that. Let's go.
And you know what's funny is, I'm pretty sure somebody in the military refers to C4 as Jeep stuff. There has to be somebody in there, somebody in acquisitions or something somewhere. Get me some Jeep stuff.
The private was it military companies that make guns and everything. Okay,
Robert, I need you to go and acquisition me 20 pounds of cheap stuff.
How can we make next evolution of warfare? Cheap stuff. Let's go.
But at the same time, those things are what makes the game itself. You know what I mean? Like those charms. Does Call of Duty has a Rendazook? No. Can Call of Duty? Can I strap bricks of C4 to a vehicle and barrel it at somebody in Call of Duty?
What does Call of Duty have?
Yeah, I can, but it's not as easy.
I'm actually thinking, what does Call of Duty have that makes it distinct to Call of Duty without
the name,
without the 360 scope? Like, what is there anything mechanically that is like?
That has been done that is just outrageously fucking skeevy and crazy.
I can't think of anything right now. Maybe I've been playing Call of Duty for a while, but just I can't think of anything right now.
I mean, there is so much shit. There's so much dumb shit we used to do in vehicles alone. I mean, what kind of tank operator just wants to drive through the base of a building that he knows goddamn well is going to fucking collapse right after he gets through it?
I mean, if I can
you don't do that in real life. That's an asset. That's money. You're going to drive through that building, soldier. You're stupid.
Oh, I moved actually so many times. I drove inside the building with a tank. Everything was collapsing around me. But I know because there's a guy behind the wall. I'm like, okay, no time to reload. Just fucking drive into that wall and just destroy that wall and roadkill that building.
Will kill him.
No, my tracks will. But my tracks will. But like. Just going through a building and just killing him is like, yeah, that was so satisfying. Do I take some damage?
And that's the other thing that separates Battlefield apart from Call of Duty. Okay, Call of Duty, that guy's camping behind cover, and in Battlefield, what cover?
Yeah, what cover? Yeah.
Because if you're gonna hide behind a wall, bitch, I'm just gonna throw a C4 brick on the wall and detonate it, and I know the blast will go through and blow you up. Like that's what I miss. I miss being able to do that. Yeah. Like that's where the charm of that game was. Is you gave us you gave us all of the toys of real warfare, but set it in a world where we could just do some absolute absurd shit because we have unlimited access to these resources in a sense. So we just don't give a fuck. And that's what the charm is. It's great. Bring that back.
Yeah. I don't know, like, a quick mention. What's your opinion about the plus system that we have in Battlefield 2042?
The class system?
Plus system.
The plus system?
The one that you can switch attachments in-game.
Oh, fuck yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I adore that.
I don't use that
much. But
what
I think it should be is wait, yeah, because you can set what attachments you put in there.
Yeah.
So, what I would say is maybe limit the amount that you can carry because it's kind of redunculous that I could carry 4 different fucking stocks for the same gun.
You think you should go brought back for the next game?
I do. And
okay.
I do, but I think it needs to be refined. Like, as far as stocks need to go, it either needs to be a pop-on or off. So you could either have, like, an MP5 with, the buttstock on the end.
Yeah, okay.
And the option is to just take it off and have better hip fire accuracy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Shit like that, or the fold-in stock. Not be able to carry 3 to 4 different stocks all at the same go. Optics, too. Like, limit to, like, maybe a short-range and a long-range optic that you can carry. But it also would depend upon your class, because I would suspect that a recon class would come in the field with a bigger rucksack, so they would probably be able, in order to carry more shit. Same thing with the support. Mm-hmm. Medics probably, you could maybe pop on and off your underbarrel attachment if you wanted to, so that you could have better accuracy while you're in a firefight. Or if it runs out of ammo, you could just take it off and put a foregrip on it real quick. That way you can get your accuracy back, and you're not wasting a space there. But having the ability in order to carry like 3 to 4 different optics at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan of that. So I think that kind of needs to be restricted a little bit. So that way that makes you think about what you're putting on that plus, because that's what you're carrying into the field. Since we're gonna go realism.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's of course when you bring platoons back. I just went through our notes. But yeah, there's so much more. But I think we're okay for this episode now, though, because we've been talking for like an hour, 20 minutes, something like that.
Oh shit! I smacked my mic.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, about an hour and 17 on mark.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to mention? Something that comes to your mind?
No, there's shit that I would love to save for the next one. But like I said, like if I'd just be repeating everything that I said. Just do as I command and do it. Because the air combat alone would just be fucking sick.
Yeah, for the
You
carrier
could have a
assault.
squadron of 5 against a squadron of 5, okay? It's 64 players. That takes 10 people off the ground. I would concede to like a 74, 76 player count because I think you could split that up evenly. Somewhere in the 70s. Don't go over 80. Anything over 80 would just be stupid and a waste. But 80 would make sense. 40v40. I could live with that.
Yeah, but they're sticking.
And you take 5 and make
they're
pilots?
sticking with 64.
They're sticking with 64.
That's official, yeah.
All right, so then you could have a squadron of 4 against a squadron of 4. So you could have an air squadron. You could dedicate as an air squadron if you wanted to. Give them the option to do that. But if you designate yourself as air squadron, you are restricted to spawning in planes. Period.
Yeah, they're definitely sticking to 4-man squads, just because it kind of became the standard everywhere. You know, co-op games, battle royale games. That's the maximum player you can have in a squad.
Man, and fuck that shit, because I always felt that 5 was the best.
I liked 5.
Five to me is always best balance, because then that means you could go with 2 medics, a support, and a recon, and you could go with one of every class and 2 medics, and it'd be great.
Yeah,
because then it would mean the medics would be the ones who would have to be protected most because they're the ones that bring the team back up. But yeah,
I kind of see the arguments why 4 is better than 5, because it kind of creates a closer squad, I guess, and maybe if they have squad perks and everything, I kind of get the idea.
So do I.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a personal taste.
it's
It's not something that I'm just gonna pay.
Yeah. It's both 5-man squads and 4-man squads. They both have their own, benefits and disadvantages. I kind of get it, because 5 can get a bit too easy to spawn on every point, so on. I kind of get that, and then 4 makes it a bit like I don't know how to describe it, but I get it. But yeah, they're sticking with 64 players. That's official. Right. Other than that, regarding the next Battlefield game, yeah, I just want a good game. Just be Battlefield. Just be Battlefield. That's kind of it. Why were we discussing today about microtransactions, modes, characters, single player, whatever the case may be? Just be a Battlefield game. Just be yourself. Don't be Call of Duty Battlefield or something like that. Just be yourself. These days, it's so hard to make, tell the difference between games these days, because they all copy each other,
Hey, or you guys could just fucking hire us and fly us out there. We'll come fucking tell you what's up. Let's do this.
Yeah. I do wonder how that community program is gonna be, though. I wonder how they're gonna do that.
I too wonder as well. I don't think I'm going to dedicate as much time to it, depending upon how good it is.
Yes.
I mean, I have hope, but I don't at the same time. I'm not getting my expectations up.
Next thing you know, we actually doing a weekly Battlefield podcast because of that community program.
Jesus shit.
Well, at that point, we have to make a living. I'm sorry. Everyone subscribe to Patreon.
You motherfuckers better. Yeah, Patreon better be hustling by then, because I need a new GPU and shit.
Yeah, Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. But yeah, just to end on the Patreon. Yeah. Anything that you want to talk about Battlefield, and then can I just end the podcast on the Patreon stuff?
Nope, I think we can do the outro and call it good. We've been at this for almost an hour and a half now.
Okay. So before Ray does the outro, just want to say that I want to apologize that we didn't do much Patreon this month. It's mostly because, Ray had...
I got hit by 2 hurricanes.
He had to fight some hurricanes while riding alligators. And 2, I'm kind of I don't know how to describe it. I was playing a lot of video games. That's one, so that's on me. But 2, because I knew 2, because I knew Ray was not available, and 3, I'm kind of in the middle of doing some changes and so on in the background. Mostly because I'm kind of planning for the future, and we didn't have that much growth in the last month. So I'm okay, you know what? It's fine if I make this month a bit lighter. Also, Andre, our friend Andre, who's been if you've been listening to BattlefieldOne if you've been following me on my YouTube channel, you've been following everything we've been doing for the last 5-7 years, you probably know who Andre is. He's just a friend of ours that we met through Battlefield CT, all that kind of stuff, and he's coming over to my place. So I will see if we can do a Patreon episode of us three together. He's sitting next to me.
Oh, this will be great!
Yeah, and we're just gonna record a Patreon episode. And let me tell you,
you can't do that, Lanky.
Andre is a very open person with no filter. He will tell you how he is,
and he
will
German
literally
as
tell you
fuck.
how he is. And I think it's a perfect podcast episode for Patreon, just us with no filter talking about everything we want to talk about.
Shut up,
and
you fucking casual. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I played Call of Duty with him yesterday, and we had so much fun. And I love he just said, like, I miss playing with you, Lanky. And like, well, it's your fault, Andre. But anyway, he's coming over in the next couple... Yeah, he's coming over in the next couple of days. And I want us three be recording a Patreon episode, just talk everything we want to talk about. Maybe we'll drop some leaks or whatever by some stupid chance, I don't know, or some amazing memories. Regardless, there's so many things we can talk about. It's just I don't think we need a script or notes. Yeah, I will do my best to organize that. I will do my best. That's gonna be this month's episode for Patreon. But yeah, I'm sorry that there's not much happening in Patreon this month, mostly because
We're gonna make that up later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Hurricane. I've been playing games because I want to catch up with everything, and I'm just doing some changes in the background. I'm just like thinking like, okay, what's the future for the YouTube channel? What's the future for this podcast? Because podcast is doing well. This podcast is doing well. It's growing and so on. I want to continue with that, and that's why we made this episode, because like we have to meet our quota, and we enjoy making these episodes.
The algorithm requires engagement.
Yeah, so do we want to record a Patreon one or a Battlefield 1 podcast? I kind of want to focus on Battlefield 1 podcast because it's a public one, everyone can hear it and so on, and Patreon is for people that want to support us.
We'll fucking see then. We'll hammer it up. But at any rate, I'm about ready to go get me some damn lunch. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
so that being
too.
said,
I kind of need to start making food too.
You guys know the socials and where in order to follow us and find us. Thank you guys for hanging out for as long as you have. I know we ran a little bit long on this, but that again, as Tom said this, and we're trying to make up for some shit that we haven't been doing over the last hot minute. Thank you guys for all of the support over the years. Thank you guys for checking us out, looking at us, and listening. Other than that, I'll see you guys out there. Peace.
Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.